Yep. So yesterday we discussed about how to create the variables. How to create the variables. For example, if I write in my Python program print loc, okay, tell me what exactly the error you can get it. What exactly the error you can get it. You are looking for this particular name. That name is there or not there? That name is there or not there? You are looking for this particular name. That name is there or not there? That name is not there. So the error was what? Name error. Exact error I want. Name location is not defined. This is the error you can get it or not. Name location is not defined. Yes or no? Now, if I write like this, what exactly the error you can get it? Again, the same error you can get it. Okay, this time, okay, you can unmute and talk, no issues. This time, same name error, name error,
Name
name.
LOC is not defined.
Okay, why? Because here my Python is like a case sensitive or not. Okay, the next one is like print name. My name equals to Sachin. Will it work or not work? Where it is going to work or not work? Print
Not
name.
works.
Again, it's not work. Why? Because in Python, if you are looking for one variable, first you should have to define. Then only it's going to work. After the statement, if you define also, it is gives me an error or not. If you are using one variable or you are looking for one name in Python, that should be declared first. Then only you have to use it. Okay, once you used, after that if you declare, will not work. So again you can get the same error is what? Name error. Name is not defined. These are the errors, you can get it or not. Yes or no? The next one is like fur equals to, okay, Dhoni print fur. Then will it work or not work? Will it work or not work? Come on.
Syntax error.
It is gives me like a syntax error or not? It gives me like a syntax error or not? Okay, so syntax error. Why the syntax error? Why the syntax error?
For is the keyword.
Okay, why? Because for is like a reserved word, right? So reserved words we should not use like a, okay, keyword. Okay, keywords or reserved words we should not use like a variable names or not. Yes or no? Reserved words we should not use like a variable names. Now if I write like this, name equals to such, will it work or not work?
Not
In
works.
Python programming language, no variable, no name, not only variable, okay, methods or classes, whatever it is, no name starts with the digits. So again you can get like what? Syntax error or not? Again you can get like a syntax error or not? Yes or no? Again you can get like a syntax error. The next one is like, okay, if I write full space name equals to Dhoni, will it work or not work? Full space name equals to Dhoni, will it work or not work?
Syntax error.
Okay, again it gives me
Should not
syntax.
contain space.
Because okay, we should not use spaces, right? Okay, you can get like a syntax error in your name. We should not use like a spaces or not. Okay, okay then. And yesterday we discussed like I asked you to complete the environment setup. One is like VS Code setup, completed or not completed. Another one is like I asked you to run your program in online editors. Anyone tried? The next one is like Google Colab. I asked you to create an account in the Google Colab and create the notebook and execute some Python programs. Anyone completed? Anyone stuck with something? Just let us know so that we will help you to complete the setup. Don't worry, you can ping anytime. Okay, in the group you can ping. The next one is like, can anyone tell me the execution flow, program execution? First, you return some source code. Whatever the code you return, that is a source code. Now tell me the source code is going to, this is the source code. The source code is going to compile or not. How the source code is
Compile.
going to compile? Using some translators. Okay, how many translators were there in the market?
2.
Okay, it's like compiler, another
Compiler,
one.
interpreter.
Now come here. Once you have the compiled code, this compiled code who can understand? PVM, Python Virtual Machine can understand the compiled code and helps, okay, to generate the output, which is like a human readable or not. Yes or no? So if you have a Python program, okay, how you can run this program to get the output? Which command? py1.py. Py command when it is available. Py command when it is available in your machine. If you want to make it available, this py command or Python command, you need to install Python software or not. You need to install the Python software. Understood? Yes or no? The next one. Now, how to see the compiled Python or Python? How to see the compiled Python file? Compiled Python file. How we can see it? We have one module is there, PyCompile. So py, the module name is like what? PyCompile. Okay, which file, compiled file you want to see? 1.py compiled file I want to see. Now whenever you run this command, okay, now you can see one folder. Anyone knows what is the folder name? Underscore underscore py cache is the one. Inside this folder, inside this folder, tell me, inside this folder what do you want? Inside this folder you can find one. Inside this folder, come on, inside this folder, one .pyc file or not? Did you practice or not? Looks like you not practiced. Practice. Okay, .pyc file. .pyc file. Okay. Now, once you have the .pyc file, who can read this .pyc file? Who can read this .pyc file? My PVM or not? Python Virtual Machine, and it is going to generate the output. But by default, this particular folder is not visible. If you want to see this folder, you can run this command. If you not required, no issues. Okay. Up there, okay. So far, these things we discussed or not? Any questions so far? Anyone regarding this content and so far what we discussed? Anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions? Feel free to ask. You can unmute and talk. Anyone have any questions? Okay. If you not practice, just at least today onwards, try to practice all these things. Okay. Try to practice all these things. Okay then. The next level requirement. Okay, we are going to discuss like take one requirement and we are going to involve the concepts in that particular requirement, like that we are going to do. Okay, let's go. Okay, very simple. Just I want to find the sum of two numbers. Okay, 10, 20. Okay, so how we can do it? One person, he want some functionality like he want to find the sum of two numbers. Those two numbers are like 10 or 20. Tell me how we can do it. First, 10, 20, these are the values. If it is like one time use, just simply you can write like this. But this 10, 20, if you want to use multiple places, then the time, can you store these values in one variable? Yes or no? How we can create the variable in Python? What is the syntax? My variable name and value. That's it. Now, do we have the type for the variables in Python? Do we have the type for the variables in Python?
No type.
No, right? Okay, there is no type. Okay, is like semicolon is the mandatory in Python like Java?
No.
No. Okay,
No.
it's like optional. So you can create, okay, two variables, 10, 20, and then you can find the sum like this. Okay. Here also you can write n1 plus n2, or you can create a one more variable n1 plus n2, and you can write. Done. The requirement and everything is okay. Okay. The first person what he expected, 10, 20 sum, he received the response is like 30. That's correct only. But one more person is one more person. He said like he also want the same requirement. He want to find the sum of 10, 20 only. Then what he has to do? Second person. And one value 10, n2 value 20. My sum equals to n1 plus n2 and print sum or not. Print sum. Yes or no? Like this 10 persons required the same requirement. Then the time, tell me, if you write the code like this, each and every person get the expected result only, that is 100% correct. But why it is not recommended one? I'm telling like whatever the code you written, that is not the recommended one. Okay, whether it is gives me the success expected result only, but I'm telling like this approach is not the right way. This is not the recommended way of writing the code. Why? Why? Because if you observe the first person, these these four lines of code, next 10 people, next 8 people also having the same code or not. It means you written like a duplicate code or not. In any programming language, writing the duplicate code, it's not a recommended one. Okay, so these 10 persons require the same functionality or not. What is the functionality? Find the sum of two numbers. Okay, these two persons, okay, these 10 persons required what? Same functionality only or not? Yes or no? Find the sum of, tell me, find the sum of two numbers. That is the functionality. Instead of writing the code like this, 4 lines, 4 lines, 4 lines, can you tell me some better approach? Instead of writing the duplicate code in any programming language, okay, if you know Java, if you know JavaScript, how we can achieve? Instead of writing the duplicate code, is there any better approach? Very simple thing. If you want to use the same functionality in multiple places, if you want to use the same functionality in multiple places, can you create one function based on your programming language? If it is like a JavaScript, create a JavaScript function. If it is like a Java, create a Java function. If it is like a Python, create a Python function. Can you create one function? Can you use that function how many places you want, how many times you want? Yes or no? If you write one function to this particular functionality so that you can avoid the duplicate code, you can ask them, first person use that function, second person use that function. It's a kind of what? Reusability or not. Okay, you written the code only one time, you reuse that particular functionality in multiple places or not by using functions, right? This functions concept, not only Python, this is common for any programming language or not. C onwards, wherever if you want to use like the same functionality in multiple places, similar kind of functionality in multiple places, don't write that functionality again and again. Create one function with that functionality and use that function wherever you want, how many times you want or not. Yes or no? Okay, that is the basic thing for any programming language, not only Python. This concept, this discussion, not only for Python. In any programming language, if you want one functionality in multiple places, don't write that functionality related code again and again. Simply create one function with that functionality and use that particular function wherever you want, how many times you want. That's it. So in Python also can we apply the same theory? Here, multiple places, the same functionality, 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20, I want to use it. So can I create one function? So now our actual discussion about the Python. So can anyone tell me the question now? For this particular requirement, to avoid this duplicate code, you have to create a function and you have to use that function. You can ask those 10 people, use that function or not. So your question is what now? How we can create a function in Python or not? Yes or no? How we can create a function in Python or not? Yes or no? How we can create a function in Python? Okay, yesterday, day before yesterday, we discussed like how we can create a variables, right? How we can create a variable in Python. Okay, we discussed or not? Same like this. Today's discussion is like how we can create a function in Python. That is my question. Okay, so we discussed like multiple keywords, right? So many keywords we discussed. So one of the keyword I already told you, function related keywords. Tell me some function related keywords what we discussed in last session. Def,
Yes. Return.
return, pass, okay, yield. These are the keywords we are going to use most of the times in the functions. Remaining also we are going to use, these are like specific to function related or not. So if you want to define a function in Python, there has one keyword is there, def is the keyword. By using this def keyword, we can define a function. See, function concept, okay, definition, uses, the discussion is common, but whenever you want to write a function in Java, the syntax may be different. In JavaScript, the syntax may be different. In Python, my syntax may be different. But these all are work for the same cause. Wherever the functionality you want to use multiple places, create one function with that functionality, you can use that function or not. So that my question is like how we can create a function in Python. What is the syntax? What is the syntax? Very simple. So if you want to create a function in Python, we have one keyword called as a def. Okay, define a function, you can say. Def is the function. Okay, after that, you have a function name. So can I write like a function name? Def is the keyword, and then you can write like a function name. The next thing is like function representation. See, you can represent this one like a function. Now tell me, after that, can anyone guess? Define a function. Okay, define, this is my function name, and then the representation. Any programming language, this is only the representation for the function or not. Okay, after that, my function body, right? This is an important thing. Most of the programming languages, okay, except Python, remaining all programming languages, okay, function body we can represent, open the curly brace and closing the curly brace, and here we are going to write some function body statements or not, yes or no. Most of the programming languages, all except Python, but Python is something different, you have to understand here. So in Python, if you want to start a block, not only function related block, either class related, or it is like a conditional block, if else, wherever, if you want to represent a block in Python, so your block should starts with the semicolon. Okay, it's a colon, not semicolon, sorry, it's a colon. Your block should starts with a colon. Okay, once you started, okay, once you added a colon in Python in your code anywhere, it means now onwards you can understand like your block started, it is equals to, okay, it is equals to this one in other programming languages. In other programming languages, after that the block contains some statements and close the block, right? So don't think like this is my block starting and here one more column, it's like a block ending. Don't think like that. Okay, not like okay, remaining programming languages I said like, okay, starting the block in Python colon, and remaining programming languages this curly brace and closing here like this. Don't think like that. Okay, this is something different. This one representing starting the block. Then how it is going to end? Where it is going to end? How I can come to know? Remaining programming language is like simple. Open the brace and closing the brace. I can understand. This is the block. These are the block of statements. But come to the Python. How we can represent block? I can easily see wherever the colon is there. That is nothing but start a block. My block started. But where it is going to end? How we can come to know these are the statements inside the block? That is the question, right? Yes or no? In Python, okay, colon is nothing but starting the block. But where, how I can come to know, okay, where it is ending, how many statements are in the block? That is an important thing or not? Okay, very simple. Now, my block started now. After that, the statements, okay, any number of statements, that's not a matter. The statement which follow the indentation, okay, see the word, the terminology, which follow the indentation. Indentation is nothing but it's a format, simply. Okay, follow the indentation is nothing but the statements which are taking like one tab space or 5 spaces, whatever it is, one tab space like this. I can understand, my Python can understand this particular statement belongs to this block. Okay, now tell me, in this particular function, by block started here, there has two statements are there. Okay, this is one statement, this is one more statement. Okay, now among these two statements, how many statements are belongs to this block? By seeing this one, only one
statement.
Okay, which statement? That is this one, right? So this one follow the indentation or not? Yes or no? One. This one follow the indentation or not? Indentation is nothing but take one tab space or okay, give like 5 spaces. Okay, your okay keyboard space button is there now. That one. Just click on the tab. Now tell me, in this particular function, this is my block. Here my block started. After this one, how many statements follow the indentation? How many statements follow the indentation? Two, right?
Two statements.
Two statements or not? Two statements are in this block. Now see the different cases. Okay, na? Now come here. The next case is like if I write something like this. If I write something like this, how many statements are there in this particular function? How many statements? How many statements are there? Come on, how many statements are there?
Nobody.
Okay, one statement, but this is syntactically wrong. Why you know? See, now you can understand. This is my block, na? This is my block. In this block, if you come to the next statement immediately, this statement follow the indentation or not follow the indentation? Is it followed or not followed?
Not followed.
Not followed, right? Whenever the statement, the next level statement is not followed, that means it is like your block ended. So whenever my block is ended here itself, now see, in my function, how many statements are there? Do we have any statements at this moment? Do we have any statements at this moment? Tell me. Whenever my statement, next level statement only, not follow the indentation, that means there itself my block ended. So my block ended here itself. If it is ended here itself, next level statement, don't think about the next level statement. Block ended. Next, whatever you want, you can write it. Whenever my block ended here itself, in this block, how many statements are there? 0, right? Do we have any statements? Tell me. Do we have any statements? No, right? In Python, minimum one statement should be there. If you don't want the statements, we have one keyword is there. Pass is the keyword. We already discussed pass keyword. Got my point? We'll tell you. This one is like a syntax error. You can get it. I will show you programmatically. Don't worry. Now tell me. How many statements are there? How many statements are there?
Two statements.
Two statements. Now, if you write something like this, in this particular function, there has first statement follow the indentation so that this statement belongs to this block. The second statement also follow the indentation. So this statement also belongs to this block. But the third statement follow the indentation or not followed? Follow the indentation or not followed?
Not followed.
Not followed. Whenever it is not followed, I can understand like, okay, my Python can understand like my block ended here only or not. So that two statements are in this particular block. One more statement is there, but is not in the function or not. That is outside the function, right? Yes or no? Got my point? Okay, this is like 100% correct. The next one, if it is something like this, it is valid or invalid. First thing, this is my function block started. If you come to the next statement, it follow the indentation, so that this is belongs to this block. The next statement also followed the indentation, so that this is belongs to this block. The next statement not followed, so that the block ended here itself. So this is like a normal general statement. The next statement followed the indentation. Okay, now it gives me an error is like a indentation error. Why it gives me indentation error? Whenever one statement followed the indentation is nothing but the statement you written with some, okay, 5 spaces or one tab. Whenever in Python, see the statement, whenever in Python one statement you written with some indentation, that statement should belongs to one block. Now tell me, this is my block. My block ended here because of this statement. Now this statement followed the indentation. Is it belongs to any block? This block already ended, right? Is this statement follow the any block? That means this statement under any block? Tell me. My block ended here. This is the new statement. Again you followed the indentation. In Python, any statement followed the indentation, it means it should belongs to one block. But this one is belongs to any block? No, right? Why? Because their block is there, but that is ended here itself. So that this statement is not belongs to any block. That the reason it gives me an error. It's a kind of indentation error. It's a kind of what? Indentation error. Understood, everyone? Got my point?
Yeah.
Okay, so that now onwards, any statement followed the indentation, make sure that particular statement belongs to one block. That particular statement belongs to one block. Otherwise, you can get like a indentation error. Okay, simple. These things you can follow. That's it. Okay, any number of blocks you can write. Okay, any number of statements you can write under that block by following the indentation or not. Okay, okay, then the IDEs only helps you. Okay, no need to click on like a space 5 times. Okay, no need to click on the tab wherever. Okay, if you use like Visual Studio Code, that guy only helps you. I will show you. Okay, done. Now come to this requirement. Now I want to create one function to this particular functionality. Now let's create a function. How we can create the function to this particular functionality? Just I want to create one function. So how we can create the function to this particular functionality? To this particular functionality, how we can create a function? Let's go. How we can create a function with which keyword? Def is the keyword. Next, come on, function name. Okay, give the proper name. Can I write like sum or find some, whatever it is? Next, function representation.
Representation.
Next, function body.
Body.
Okay, now inside the function body, how many statements you want me to write? Okay, n1 equals to 10. So that this statement inside this block or why? Because it's followed the indentation. Next, n2 equals to 20. So for how many statements are there? Two statements are there. Two statements. Okay, if I write like, okay, sum here, okay, my block ended or not?
Yes.
Yes or no? Now, after this one, if I follow the indentation, then the time you can get like what? An error or not. So that statement, if I write like this, sum equals to n1 plus n2, now then what happened? This statement also inside this block, and this statement also inside this block or not. So overall, how many statements are there in this block?
Four
Overall,
statements.
how many statements?
Four
There has
statements.
4 statements or not? All are followed the indentation. There is no problem at all. Now you have a function. Now come to generalize the statement. Any programming language you can take, either Java, .NET, PHP, any C, CPP. If you have a function in your hand, what you can do? Just you can call it. Just you can call it. In your hand, one function is there. If you not call, there is no use of that particular function. There is no use of that particular function. Okay, if you want to use that particular function, okay, just you need to call. Just you need to call. So how you can call any programming language, you can take it. How you can call the function with the function name. So what is my function name here? Sum is my function name. How we can call, okay, any programming language, the syntax is like same or not. See, this statement in your software, okay, in your software, any technology, in your software, any technology, if you see this statement, simply you can understand like what? My sum is which type? My sum is
Function.
which type? Come on. If you see
Function.
statement in your software, any technology application, if you see like this, my sum is which type? My sum is
Function.
a
Function
function.
type.
Yes or no? This is not only for Python. This is not only for Python. If you see this statement in any programming language, simply you can say you are calling sum. Okay, here you can say like a you are calling sum. Okay, so that my sum, what you can call, functions I can call, methods I can call. So my sum is like what? Sum is like a function or method. What is the difference between? We'll see. Don't worry about that one. At this moment, function you can say. My sum is a function. Only functions we can call. Only functions we can call. Understood? Let's come here. Let's come to this one. So who want this functionality? First person. So if you want the functionality, can you ask him to call this function? Yes. So how we can call it? With the function name, you can call it. So second person also they want, so that how we can call? You can ask him to call it or not. Now tell me, in the past you written these 4 lines of code how many times? 10 times you written. So that's a duplicate code. You avoid the duplicate code or not? Now you written only one time. Now you can ask these 10% use that particular functionality or not by calling that function. So you can generalize one statement for any programming language. Why we go for functions? To represent some functionality that can be reusable or not. Yes or no? You can write a function for what? To represent some functionality. In this case, find the sum. In future, some other, it is not a matter. Okay, write a function to represent some functionality. Wherever you want, just you can call that function. How many times you want? That many times you can call it, no problem at all. So by writing the function, you avoid the duplicate code and you reuse that functionality multiple times or not. Understood? Okay, shall we do the practical? Let's go. Now come here. So all are installed Visual Studio Code, right? So let me go to our workspace folder. I already created one workspace folder for our batch. Which one? This one, na? Python. So let's go to one file I want to create. My file name is like functions. Okay. 1.py. I want to write multiple files. Okay. I don't want inside this particular folder. I want outside. Just drag it out. Just do move. Now see my functions 1.py file is there. Okay, let's go. Now my requirement is what write a function to print your name. First requirement is okay, write a function to print your name and call. Okay, done. In Python, if you want to write a comments, single line comment, just use hash. Just use hash. In JavaScript, we are going to use, okay, like this, na? Same like this. In Java also, we are going to use like this, right? Single line comments. In Python, single line comment, how we can do it, hash. Whenever you commented, okay, physically that is available, but those are not compiled, those are not run. Okay, those are not compiled simply. Whenever it is not compiled anyway, okay, at the time of runtime, compiled code only visible, so that statements are avoid. Okay, now if you want to comment like this, you can comment it. Now tell me the requirement. Write a function to print your name, he said. So let's go write the function. How we can write the function in Python? Come on, using which keyword?
DEF.
Def is the keyword. After that,
Function name.
your function name. So can I write like a function name? That can be anything, but naming convention wise, use proper names. Next, function representation like this. Next, function
Blank. Column.
function body, you can start it. Inside the body, as per my requirement, how many statements you want, just print your name, right? So one statement is enough. See, this is the VS Code editor. If I click on enter, see, automatically it follow the indentation or not. It is not started from here. Observe. Did you observe? It is followed the indentation by default or not? No need to click on the space button. No need to click on the tab button. If it is like an editor, then the time automatically it is going to support for that particular Python code. It is followed the indentation by default. If it is like Notepad, then the time you have to do it manually. You have to do it manually. So what you want to do? Okay, what do you want me to do? Come on, here print your name. What is your name? Just you can print like this. Okay, done. Now this particular code has to print like VTS school, right? Tell me, if I run this one, will it execute? Okay, will it gives me the output? Will it gives me the output VTS school? No, right? Now can you run it? Py. Okay, which one you want me to run? Which one you want me to run? Functions 1.py. Whenever you run this command, can anyone tell me the flow? It take the source code. The translators are going to translate your code into byte code. It's nothing but compiled. That compiled code taken by whom? Python virtual machine, and generate the output or not. Now click on this one. Now see, it is not gives me anything. Why? No error, no output. Why? Because
It
you
is
written
not called.
you written a function, but in your hand one function is there, but you not called, then there is no use, right? If you have a function in your hand, you should have to call that function or not. Yes or no? Now can I call it? Now how you can call? Now see, I'm going to click on enter. How we can call? How we can call? Print with the name, right? Now tell me, is it the right statement? Statement wise correct only. Now tell me, you want me to call the function inside the function or outside the function? You have to call a function is separate.
Outside.
Okay, outside that function, whenever I want to call it or not. So my print name should follow the indentation or not required? Not required, right? If you write like this, my print name also inside which one? Print name. My print name inside the print name, how we can call it? No, right? So this print name should outside or not. So in your VS code, if I click on enter, by default it follow the indentation. Okay, now if I click again, okay, by default follow the indentation. But what you are going to do, just click on enter. Next statement, if you don't want inside that block, click on backspace. Click on backspace, then the time it comes to the normal position. Now if I write the statement, this statement inside the block or outside the block? Come on, this statement inside the block or outside the block?
Outside the block.
Inside the block or not? So this particular function body has one statement up to here, done. That function ended, that block ended means function ended. After that I called that function or not? Yes or no? In any programming language, now how we can call the function? With the name you can call it or not? Yes or no? Now if I execute this one, you can get the output is like what? VTS school or not? Yes or no? Come on, agreed with me? Okay, na everyone?
Yes.
So the next one is like write a function with three statements. Okay, name, okay, your location and your phone number, and print those. Okay, right. My function should contain three statements. Tell me. Def my
Details.
details, whatever it is. My details. Next. Function
Representation.
representation. Next.
Body.
Okay. Three values I want. So can I create three values? Okay. Name equals to something like this. Any problem? My location equals to Mumbai. Okay, na? The next one, my phone number equals to something like this. How many variables you created inside this function? Possibility there or not there? I can create or not. Any number of statements you can write it. That statement should valid. So this is the valid statement or not valid? Tell me. This is the valid or invalid? Valid statement, right? It's a variable creation or not? Yes or no? Come on. Now, if you write like this, now tell me, I already told to you. Any programming language you can take. If you see the statement like this, what is the type of print? You are calling means this value should be what? This name should be what? Should be a function,
Function.
right? So my print is a predefined function in Python to print the statements in the terminal. Okay, now we'll see that. I will show you how you can say like a predefined function. I will show you name and location and phone number. Okay, just I written like this. I want to print it. Will it print or not? We'll see. Now syntactically valid or invalid? Syntactically valid or invalid? Valid. No output. Now I want the output, right? I want to print it. I want to execute these statements. So if you want to execute the statements, tell me how we can execute by calling the function. How we can call? Come out from the loop. Okay, come out from the block. My details is the function. Can we call that function? Now tell me, okay, here you can see that details or not. Now tell me in this particular function, how many statements you written? 4 statements. All these statements followed the indentation or not? Yes or no? Got my point? Okay. Okay then. The next one. Reproduce a syntax error. Syntax error. That means I want a syntax error. Write the code to get the syntax error. Any type. Syntax error should come. Def, come on, write a function. Okay, na? Write a function. Next, come on. If I write something like this, will it work or not work? Will it work or not work?
Indentation error.
Okay, you can get like what? Indentation error or not? Indentation error. But I want a syntax error. I want a syntax error. Syntax error is nothing but what? You need to, okay, you should not follow the syntactical rules or not. Now see, as per syntax in Python, to create a function, what is the syntax I said? Def is the keyword. Next,
Function name.
next function name, representation,
Representation and
function
column.
call. That column missing or not? Did you follow the syntax? No, right? So that it gives me an error is like what? Syntax error or not? Yes or no? Got my point?
Yes.
So I need indentation error. Indentation error. Okay, tell me how we can. Just I'm going to write like this, valid. After that, write like this, valid or not. Up to here, okay? Valid or invalid, tell me. Valid or invalid, just see and tell. See, function, body started, at least one statement I said, so that this statement followed the indentation. After that, one more statement, not followed the indentation. That's good only, right? Yes or no? Come on. How many
Yes.
statements are there in the body? One statement.
One statement.
One statement. Another one is like not followed the indentation. It is not inside the block, so no problem. So the output is like what? 2. Why? Because this function you not called. This statement, as usual, it is going to execute. So that 2. Now, if you write one more statement is like print 3. Now tell me what happened now. The statement which followed the indentation, but that is not in the block. Then that time you can get like what? Indentation error or not. Yes or no? In Python, what I said, any statement followed the indentation that should be inside one block or not. But this is not inside the block. Why? Because my block ended here only, so that the statement inside the block, outside the block. Outside the block still followed what? Indentation or not. So that, okay, it gives me like what? Indentation error or not. Okay, na? Agreed, everyone? Okay, the next one. I need a function. I need a function. At this moment, no statements. No statements represents no statements. No statements inside the function. If I execute the function also, should not execute anything. I need a function, okay, which represents like what? There is no statements like that. So if I write like this, def fn, no statements, okay, I didn't write anything. Is it like valid syntax or invalid syntax? Syntactically.
Invalid.
Valid or invalid? Now see, it gives me what? Indentation error, right? Can you read it? Expected indented black after the function definition. Okay, see, you define a function. This is the block. Expected one statement. After this block, okay, one statement you have to write it or not. Now I can write print 1. Now it is valid or invalid? Now it is valid or invalid? Yes, valid. Now if I execute this one, what output you can get it? If I execute this one, what output you can get it? You can get like 1. But see, what is the requirement? Need a function should represent no statements, right? Inside the function. If I call also should not execute anything. But here executed one statement, right? Okay, then how you know? I need a function. At this moment, I don't want to add any statement. Simply you can go with the pass. Simply you can go with the pass. Whenever you return pass, see this? Okay, if you don't know something, okay, you said like what? Pass. Pass means it is go to next level or not. So here also said like nothing is there. Go to next executable statement. Like this, it is going to represent. I need a function, but at this moment, I don't want any statements. Then that time you can go with this. Pass is the keyword. Understood, everyone? Agreed? Any questions so far? Anyone have any questions? So let me add this one in our workspace. Okay, in our daily notes, and also, did you check that they posted a message? Okay, Monday onwards, link is going to change. Okay, if you are interested, just you can pay the fee. And if you have any concerns, just you can drop a mail or you can contact the admin. We can talk. Now, full stack Python. Now, today's discussion is about this one. Okay. This is the one, huh? And I'm going to share this details also. Okay, if you're interested, just you can. Okay, payment details also I added. Okay, the next one is like, let me share our programs to you with you. Start VTS 32 stack Python. This is not required, na? Can I delete it? Otherwise, you can for our reference purpose. Send it to. Okay, don't think more about this one. What I'm doing. Okay, just this is my job. I need to upload stack Python. Okay, go to this. So the server connected. Marna 32 full stack Python. Let me drag and drop. Say yes. Okay, I uploaded. So if you want the running notes, you can download from here. You can see the running notes day 1 to till today. Okay, the running notes you can find here. Okay, the next one is like, if you want the programs, you can go here. Now there has one more right side download button is there. You can click on this one. Okay, you can see one zip file in your downloads folder. Okay, there if you extract it, you can see day 1 to till today all the programs. Okay, na? Okay, so due to some technical issues in Zoom, we not logged in yesterday. Okay, today we are going to upload yesterday's video and today's video. Just you can go through that. Okay, na? So Monday onwards, the link is going to change. Okay, so that new link we are going to send to you. If you have any concerns, just you can drop WhatsApp message. We'll discuss. Thank you, guys. Thanks for
Sir,
joining. Any questions?
sir, sir, tomorrow is class on.
No, no class. Tomorrow, actually, every Saturday we have workshop. Okay, na?
Okay. Okay.
So that you can go to VTS school, you can see the workshop. Okay, every week one workshop you can see. Tomorrow's workshop is related to JavaScript array methods. Okay, na?
Okay.
JavaScript related workshop. So that if you're interested, you can join. Okay. Any other questions, anyone? No? Okay, then thank you, guys.